Before commencing this evening's event, and in keeping with the spirit of reconciliation,
we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands where QUT now stands,
and recognise that these have always been places of teaching and learning.
We wish to pay respect to their elders, past, present and emerging,
and acknowledge the important role Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people continue to play within the QUT community.
Our planet may be home to 30 million different kinds of animals and plants, each individual locked in its own lifelong fight for survival. But here we have the technical production student. They are in their final stages of their student development and are about to take their first steps in becoming production artists. Everywhere you look, you see them, or rather you don't see them, as they live in the shadows. To the common man, they are sometimes seen as simple, primitive creatures, but in fact, they are quite the opposite. They usually live on next to no sleep and feed on reheated food, and yet they persevere to create something out of thin air. A complex, wondrous work of art. Shadows, these mammals emerge to show us that they are extraordinary examples of what living things can create from sheer willpower. This series will take you on a journey through the magical world of live performance and show you the process in which these creatures go through in the life cycle of a production. Good evening all, and welcome to Standing By 2017. Our journey begins this evening in the outskirts of a bustling city. Welcome to the roughlands of the university, one of the toughest and most expensive habitats on Earth. Within this university, we find a hard-working herd of 14 select students. Together the herd has one common goal: to collaboratively create and present a piece of performance art. The first stage of the production process is concept and development. This stage is the foundation of all artistic work and is where the creative seed is first planted. This process sees a species known as the production designer working ever so collaboratively with an alternate and often alien species, the director. The production designer prepares intricate drawings of spaces and garments, painting the unique base coat onto the designed canvas. Now that the seed has been planted, the herd moves on to the rehearsal and pre-production stage of development. The rehearsal is the most vital part of the production process. It is here the herd can test their ideas and begin problem solving. There is a species which controls rehearsals known as the stage manager. A dedicated life form, the stage manager is known to sit in the same room for hundreds of hours, working with all other species, including the ever so punctual performer, to ensure the goal is reached. It is important to note that the stage manager has an intense fear of confetti cannons, glitter, and all things breakable. Alongside rehearsals, a painstaking process known as pre-production takes place. It is here we find the props master, armed with a hot glue gun and ready for battle. This rare species boasts an astounding combination of talents, including the ability to turn a piece of foam into what looks like a mouth-watering meal using only paintbrushes and determination. Another one of the colorful creatures that emerge during this process is the sound designer. This species only drinks hot liquids based on expensive spices and beans and can be identified by the habitual humming and the headphones draped around their neck. The designer has an important job: to acquire, manipulate, and generate sounds and rhythms. They begin with silence. Piece by piece, they add texture to the canvas. herd now prepare to transfer to their temporary new habitat. The road cases are packed and the truck has been loaded. The sun is still to rise, yet bump-in is about to commence. The bump-in is a momentous task of preparing the theatre for the herd's production. Here the interior walls of the habitat are erected by a species known as the mechanist. Like a kookaburra building its nest, the mechanist will gather materials from near and far, forging them together to create the complex structure envisioned by the production designer. Similar to the kookaburra, the mechanist is also able to fly by using facilities that are often found in the wings. The bump-in process eventually ventures into the plotting stage, where all the equipment is programmed into cues and aligned with the artistic vision. Here is where the lighting designer emerges as a leader of the pack. The lighting designer can usually be recognized by their astounding ability to tell the difference between shades of blue. They often carry around a small book filled with colored plastic and regularly refer to strange gentlemen named Lee and Roscoe. This species is mysteriously drawn to light and can think of ways to use this to their advantage. During the plot, the lighting designer adds color to the canvas, illuminating creatures and creations, as well as adding further emotion and depth to the performance. Their work is often influenced by a newly discovered species, the vision designer. Often forgotten, the vision designer has the ability to manipulate images and interweave technology in order to set scenes and tell stories. During the plot, the vision designer injects dimension into the canvas, continuing to push the boundaries of what is live performance.
Just bring that down by 2 dB.
Ladies and gentlemen of the company, this is your half-hour call. Your half-hour call. Thank you.
A little bit of quiet, please.
Oh yeah, that's definitely just going to need a bit of tape there.
The herd then migrates onto the next stage, technical rehearsals. During this seemingly endless process, the performers are reintroduced into the pack. Scene by scene, the performance is pieced together, seamlessly blending all creative elements. It is here we find the costume dresser in full flight. Clad in an apron filled with safety pins, threaded needles, and lint rollers, the dresser is more than prepared for any wardrobe malfunction that may arise. Like a fairy godmother, the dresser also has the ability to quick change any performer's costume in mere seconds, ensuring that they get back on stage before their next cue. The herd then moves on to the next step, dress rehearsals. It is in this process that the performance is rehearsed extensively, fine-tuning all the elements before the next phase commences. The time has come, the herd is ready. It's opening night. Dressed in their finest blacks, the herd invites the rest of the world to experience and hopefully enjoy all of their work. When all is said and done, the performer species takes their bows. Afterwards, a strange ritual begins. Creatures great and small gather to drink bubbly drinks and listen to the leaders of the pack make grand declarations and fascinating speeches. Oh look, here comes one said pack leader who appears to be on his last legs. The always optimistic and exceedingly bubbly Tony Brompton.
Thanks very much, home brand David Attenborough. It's nice to see, if nothing else, the technical production students have learnt about sarcasm. 3 years ago, when I was asked to take on the role of technical production coordinator here at QUT, I did it for one main reason. I had gotten to a point, looking at the industry, that I felt that we needed to do better. That old slogan of the show must go on, when filtered through our modern society, was developing a disposable approach to people, places, and our industry in general. Jobs became contracts, not careers. Projects became profit margins, and the industry burnout became a considerable normal for a lot of the people that I was dealing with. In a world where generations are measured in iPhones, not in human life cycles, I believe we in the creative industries have a responsibility to do better at supporting the people around us. Because if we can't look after our own community, how can we inspire audiences around the world to do the same? I and my colleagues, Carly, Tessa and Ben, way of addressing this over the last 3 years has been to roll out a new training program that enables this generation of students to not only learn the history and skills of our industry, but cultivate a culture of questioning why we're doing the things that we're doing, and more importantly, developing creative solutions to those questions. All of our guests here tonight, your contribution to the program has been your investment in our students. It doesn't matter if you're the Dean of the Creative Industries, who's still giving us a green light to keep going with the program, or one of our greatly appreciated industry partners who come in and share their time and knowledge with our students, or the friends and family that have supported them financially and emotionally over the last number of years. You've been a critical part in making the program a reality, and even if you weren't lucky enough to get to listen to me bang on about the pillars of the production arts for hours on end like our students, I still thank all of you. The students over the last 3 years have pushed and tested this program, uncovered its strengths and weaknesses, challenged the way we see the production arts, and responded to every evolving problem that are thrown at them, including the one tonight. All of this evening's performance has been created by the technical production students. They wrote the script and performed it, composed the music, designed the lights and the vision. Behind the scenes, they designed one of the most ambitious technical systems QUT production has ever undertaken. I don't actually understand all the bits. And they've done all of this while navigating and managing the whole process themselves. Tonight, they're positioned around you running the event to give you the opportunity to get a glimpse of their world, a chance to see what it is we have all invested in them. And I'm incredibly proud of all of them for that. So as this new generation of production artists take their place beside us in the industry, I would challenge all of us, the old and the new, to look and find ways that together we can make our industry, our community, and our lives better. Thanks.
Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now it's time for a fresher, more evolved life form to take the stage to address the crowd. Here comes one now.
Good evening, families, friends, industry professionals and QUT staff. My name is Madison and I'm one of the 14 graduating technical production students of 2017. Well, thank you for coming here tonight to our graduating showcase, Standing By 2017. The past 3 years here at QUT have been a rollercoaster ride of challenges, opportunities, making mistakes, learning, tears and excitement. From day one of first year to this very evening, we as a cohort have been working very closely together and only ever progressing from strength to reach where we are this very moment. Looking back at first year, our cohort were informed that we were the first cohort to be going through the new technical production course structure. It was made very clear to us that we would be the new generation of future production artists emerging into the production arts industry. Over the past 3 years, we recognised the collaborative nature of our cohort, as well as our unique approaches to what we do. For our showcase this year, we are encouraged to use a new approach to our showcase in reflection of our unique cohort. From this, we as a collective cohort came together as a production team and decided to express collaboration and process by conceptualising, designing, managing and running the production you are attending and being part of this evening. On behalf of the graduates of 2017, I would like to thank everyone who has supported us and been involved in our learning and growth over the past 3 years. Thank you to our families friends, and loved ones for your immense support and guidance through exciting and tough times. Thank you for your understanding and words of wisdom when uni has been busy and stressful and we disappear for weeks at a time. Thank you to all our secondment partners and supervisors for allowing us to work with you, extend our learning and gain new forms of experiences. Thank you to the first and second year technical production students. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you. To the volunteers who came on board and helped us with this showcase over the past 2 weeks, we could not have done this without you. Thank you to our mentors and the teaching staff at QUT. Thank you to Scott, Lilith and the rest of the Z9 ELC staff, and to all of the duty technicians across Z9 and QUT precincts. A huge thank you to, we thank Glenn Hughes and Helen Jacobs, Rosa Hirokata and Warwick Phillips. A huge thank you to Tom Edmiston for being the production coordinator on all our productions at Gardens Theatre and The Loft. I'd like to give a special thank you to The Loft for providing us with countless challenges we have overcome and will never forget. Our lecturers, Ben Hughes and Tessa Rickson, thank you for teaching us lighting, stage management, scenography, and that essays and wine go very well together. And finally, thank you to the incredible Carly O'Neill and Tony Brompton. Your never-ending dedication and hard work over the past 3 years has been beyond valuable and shaped us to be the proud graduating students, new generation of production artists that we are this very evening. You all receive 7s from us. Let's give all these wonderful people a round of applause. I speak for my whole cohort when I say that I'm incredibly proud of my achievements over the past 3 years and where I am this evening. Thank you again to all those who have made our future careers and this evening possible. Now, let's take a look at what we've been up to in our final year of technical production.
What a spectacular year the herd has had, filled with challenges, achievements, and incredible learning opportunities. Perhaps more than most species, this herd takes great pride in learning from the wisdom of their pack leaders. It is through these exchanges the pack leaders pass their knowledge onto their maturing brood, continuing the life cycle of the production arts.
In 2012, at our inaugural showcase, we launched the David Whitworth Collection. This collection is named in memory of lighting designer and technical director David Whitworth, who lectured here at QUT and lit productions for the dance department for many years. The collection comprises print, multimedia and electronic resources held in the QUT library on all aspects of theatre production. If you haven't already this evening, please take a wander over to Ellen, who is with us tonight, and she can show you around the online portal to the collection. In 2012, Rosa Hirokata and David and Rosa's daughter, Nina Whitworth, launched the collection. And since 2013, Rosa has graciously sponsored the David Whitworth Memorial Book Award and made an ongoing commitment to the award being given annually. And I am so, so pleased to have Rosa here this evening, accompanied by Nina since the first time that evening, if they want to come up on stage. The recipient of this award is selected by technical production teaching staff and is awarded to the third year student that has demonstrated over the course of 3 years a collegial attitude, extraordinary work ethic, and an ability to inspire others. And might I just say that this year, more than any other year since we started the award, has probably been one of the most competitive years for this award. This year, however, it is my absolute pleasure to award the 2017 David Whitworth Award to Dale Norris.
With the opening night ritual complete, the herd are now ready for the performance season to begin. During this stage, audiences are invited to observe the creatures at work. This is where all the design, technical, and managerial elements do their final dance with one another. The final show ends, the audiences leave. The performers pack their bags and move out of this habitat. And then...
Can I get a genie crew?
Bump out starts. During bump out, the herd will piece by piece dismantle the weird and wonderful habitat that they have created. Like an orb-weaving spider, the web is undone, only to be rebuilt the following night by the next herd that comes along. While the habitat of our herd created may be just one of possibly millions, each is intricately entwined, not by the web of a spider or the silk of a worm, but through the memories of those who experienced it. It is these memories that lay the foundation upon which the next habitat is built, strengthening our herd and those that follow.
Good evening all. My name is Ella Gordon and I am a member of the 2017 graduating cohort. Tonight I am here to present the Alison Jones Technical Production Collection. In its long history, QUT Technical Production has not only produced an amazing group of artists, managers and technicians, but it has also fostered an incredible community. A community that reaches far beyond the confines of a university degree. A community that is developed from a shared passion to create worlds and to tell stories. This community provides a home to many of us who often enter into this course as misfits, not quite drama or music or IT or management or art students, but rather a complex and magical combination of all of the above and more. And it is here that we find our people, our tribe, those who share and understand our weird and wonderful obsessions with a beautifully focused light or a perfectly called cue. And so this course has become so much more than just a place to learn how to rig speakers and calculate beam angles. It's a place to help each other turn passions into performances and ideas into innovations. And when graduates venture out into the big wide world, they're supported by a family of fellow graduates, both here in Brisbane, throughout Australia and around the globe. Many of us had a chance to experience that this year as we undertook secondments, finding QUT technical production comrades throughout the industry who took us under their wing without question and helped us to grow and to flourish. For me personally, this community has held me up during my battles with serious illness and provided me with a shining ray of hope upon which to draw strength and inspiration from. For some, this community has laid the foundations for lifelong friendships, artistic collaborations, business partnerships, romantic relationships, and even the odd technical production baby. One much loved, valued, and dearly missed member of this community is Alison Jones. As the youngest of 4 children, Alison grew up in Byron Bay and from an early age showed her creativity, filling the house with paint, metal, wood, fabric, hot glue, clay, paper, glitter, and filling her head and home with amazing creations. In 1997, as a high school student, Ali attended the QUT Academy of the Arts production of West Side Story at what was then known as the Basil Jones Theatre, which is now Gardens Theatre at Gardens Point. A sentence in the program, that performance read, "Set, costumes, props, lighting and sound by QUT theatre production students." And from that moment, Alison decided that she must go to QUT to learn and to create. She thrived, fought, stressed, created, and loved her way through over 30 productions in her 3 years studying technical production at QUT. Alison passed away in January of 2007 and was posthumously awarded her Bachelor of Fine Arts Technical Production in March of the same year. Her mother, who we are honoured to have here tonight, says that she did what she was born to do. She crammed a lifetime into those years. She did what she loved. The Alison Jones Technical Production Collection honours her incredible legacy by presenting materials and resources that relate to the often unseen practices of design, management and technology within live performance and theatre production. It stands as an ongoing archive and educational resource for students, educators and practitioners in our field. Whilst the traditional approach to archiving has often centred around the final production, the Alison Jones Technical Production Collection captures the processes, fine details and complex moving parts that go into creating a performance. This preservation of our creative heritage pays tribute to the countless unseen and unrecognised hours of hard work and planning that our students and staff, both past and present, have dedicated to creating live performances. And in turn, the digital collection also becomes an incredible resource for our past, present and future community to learn and grow from by assembling the memories of our shared experiences and creations. The task of creating and compiling this collection has been no mean feat and would not have been possible without the dedication and hard work of QUT librarian Jill Rogers and web developer Matt Kerwin, as well as our very own Dale Norris, who developed the new archival protocol and process. And most importantly, Carly O'Neill, who has worked tirelessly over 5 years to lay the foundations and develop this incredible platform. I encourage you all to take a closer look at the collection once the exhibition opens this evening and invite your friends and colleagues to access it through the QUT Library Digital Collections page. So on behalf of the QUT Technical Production students and staff, both past and present, it is my great honour and privilege to present to you the Alison Jones Technical Production Collection. Thank you.
After such tiny beginnings, we've seen this extraordinary herd go from strength to strength. But from today, they will go forward, and the next pack will emerge. And so, the production life cycle continues.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to talk about the graduating students of 2017. As someone who has been working with this group for the past few years, it saddens me to have to say goodbye to them. To know that when I come to Z9, I probably won't see them around, either working in the computer labs, drafting up plans, or bothering the ELC staff day in and day out. But we know this is how the journey continues. Our friends move on to the next step of their futures. Whether they're working in the local industry, going on tour, moving away, or taking on further study, we know that is where they should be. This also is how the first and second year students of technical production move forward, inhabiting the spaces left behind by our graduates. We have big shoes to fill in the coming years. The determination, innovation, and creativity that can be felt from this cohort is unique to them. The way they consider each production and how they're always trying to push themselves to improve on past work and be better is something we should all strive towards. Watching them rise to the challenges that the past 3 years has thrown their way to become better technicians, managers, and artists for it has been truly inspiring to myself and the rest of the students here. I'm so privileged to be able to call this group of graduates my friends and colleagues, and we're all excited to see what they do next. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the graduating cohort of 2017. once you're done having a look at all the hard work our students have been putting in, come on down to the Normanby and have a drink with our graduating cohort. It's only a short walk down the road. I managed to make it here in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. But first of all, take a close look around the space. Standing by will be open till 8 p.m. tonight and from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. tomorrow through Thursday. Thank you so much for attending this evening. We hope you had a good night and we hope to see you here.